Welcome back, Guardians. We're here today to talk about the next update from Luke Smith regarding the state of the game. So without further ado, let's just delve right into it. The article starts with a couple of bullet points that Luke Smith really wants to reiterate before we go into the meat of the article. For example, he mentions that Bungie is now self-publishing and Shadowkeep will be the first ever product that they launch to us as a self-publishing development studio. They're also bringing Shadowkeep to the Google Stadia and Steam for us PC players. The first real section of this article really just talks about the current changes of going from utility of gears and keeping that separate from cosmetics. A lot of people started to think that this would mean that a lot of the cosmetics would end up only being in the Eververse microtransaction store. However, this is not true. Destiny is still going to be Destiny. You're still going to be able to find unique looking armor sets while having the right stats that fit your playstyle without having to get the cosmetics you want from the Eververse store, just as it always has been in Destiny. We also got a quick recap of Armor 2.0, with the primary features being that Armor now contains energy points. These points dictate what mods and how big your mod budget is for that gear piece. Another important thing to note here is that not all mods work with all gear. You have to find the right elemental affinity. So if you want a certain mod that needs a solar gear piece, you'll unfortunately have to find a solar gear piece. Another important aspect to note is that when you got in a mod, it is yours forever. You unlock it. You don't have to find and stack the same mods for everything. You find one and you can use it an infinite amount of time for all of your new armor sets. And the most interesting thing, if you ask me, stats like intellect, discipline, strength, mobility, resilience, and recovery will be random rolled values. So there's going to be a lot more to grind for in the game. Not just for those stats, but for the right elemental affinity. And this has gotten a lot of controversy actually, because now you could get that amazingly rolled armor piece, but you could get the wrong affinity, meaning you couldn't put in the mods you would like to use. We're gonna see how this unfolds closer to Shadowkeep, but as it is right now, it seems like people are on the fence about this change. Another thing that got mentioned is how Bungie are gonna increase the player agency in the game. Basically, how are we gonna make experience points matter more? How are we going to reward players with powerful engrams? How are we going to deal with them? For starters, when you reach max level, all experience points you'll gain will not reward you with an engram anymore. Instead, you will gain one additional power to all of your characters on your account. Another thing to note is that prime engrams will only start to drop once you've hit 900, which also confirms that 900 is obtainable. If it's the max light, we do not know yet, but considering you start to get prime engrams at 900, I would guess that the max light coming with the expansion will be around 950. You're also going to get more prime engrams each week, however they've rebalanced the maximum power each engram will have to account for the increase in the drop rate and the volume. Another thing they're going to change are world drops. As you might currently know right now, world drops don't really drop at your power level, definitely not above your power level. However, come Shadowkeep, you might have a chance to get armor that's on your current power level. So say you're 900 power and you find something else that's 900 power but has better stats, then you might want to use that instead, which means there's more agency to our world in the world, and not just to instances of raids and PvP. Luke Smith also mentioned new light and the question about how new players are gonna get up to speed with current veterans. And the solution to this is simply that everyone post Shadowkeep is gonna start at 750 power, which also means stop spending resources. Just wait until Shadowkeep launches. You don't have to waste your material resources because your gear is gonna get infused up to 750 when the new expansion launches. And finally, Luke Smith talked about how more power can create more problems, and they're trying something new to counteract this with Shadowkeep. And this thing is the seasonal artifact. Each seasonal artifact will be unique and thematic to each season. So since we're in the Black Garden for the first raid, and apparently it's going to be a lot of decks in the first season, we're going to get the Eye of the Gate Lord, which is a very cool lore item and callback to Destiny 1. And as this artifact levels up, it will be able to do a couple of few things. Firstly, it will become a source of seasonal artifact mods, unique mods that can be equipped only during the artifact season. These mods may be brand new experimental mods or powerful mods with reduced energy costs, enabling players to experiment further in the build crafting space. That's pretty damn cool, because what that means is that the mods we're seeing right now might not even be optimized. We might be able to get better mods that are cheaper or do more. So I'm really excited to see what it is going to bring later on in Shadowkeep. And that's kind of the general thing that they talked about with this article. If you liked this video, then don't be afraid to hit that like button, drop a comment down below stating what you think about these changes. And finally, if you would like to get more notifications about when my new videos go live, don't be afraid to hit that subscribe button. I really hope that going forward, Bungie being self-publishing, that we're gonna see a game that both they and we can love together. And that's all I have today. I hope you have a good day, evening, morning, depending on where you live. This is TC Spectre, signing off.